Adulted Feelings is the movie I'm reviewing today. Welcome to my channel, guys. I review Nollywood movies. Now, talking about Adulted Feelings, this movie is showing on Porter's Pictures TV. So if you haven't watched Adulted Feelings, do well to watch. Now, a recap of this movie is about a young prince who is dating this lady who is not a royalty. He has dated this lady for more than 5 years now, and the girl has been like, Omo, won't you marry me? Waiting to happen. So of course he was not ready to get married to this lady because she was not accepted into his family, and he did everything possible, but family say no, and he as a prince to become a king has to follow tradition. So of course he lost the girl to another man. So basically that's what this movie is about. What I like about this movie, let's talk about the acting, directing, and cast of this. I actually like the cast. Miwa and Felix, they were pretty good in this movie. I was really surprised seeing Felix act a little bit intense, even though he was supposed to be laid back. You could see him that you could feel his presence in the movie. If you have watched this movie, he was active. Every scene that he was in, you could feel his presence. I don't know if it's because he was a prince. No, not even a prince. I mean, certain scenes he was not known as a prince, but you could just feel his acting in this movie. So I really like Felix acting in this movie. Then we talk about Miwa. Miwa is a very fantastic actress, and I also love the fact that whoever directed this movie actually made sure that most of the actors brought in their A game. They were more into their roles. Most of them took their roles very seriously, especially also the lady who acted Miwa's sister. She was really active, she was strong, she was passionate about her sister. You could just feel her act while she do her thing in the movie. So I really like that as well. And of course the other guy who came in to propose to Miwa, I mean, when you talk about acting, most of them brought in their A game. So the acting actually carried this movie along. So I really appreciate all of them in their respective roles that they play in this movie. So yeah, I really love the characters in this movie. In terms of acting, I really like that. Then next thing that I like about this movie is location. This movie had quite a lot of location, from Miwa's house to the king's palace to the king that's Felix's house, personal house, then his family house, then outside shops, then is a club or pub, then of course street shop. They had quite a lot of locations in this movie, and that was nice to see. Not the whole boring two places or two locations for a movie. So that was really nice, and most of these locations had a lot of intense activities going on. Intense activities, that's like a lot of acting was going on in each of this location. So I really like that a lot. Last thing that I like about this movie is costume. When I'm talking about costume, I'm talking about Felix. He is a king, or should I say a prince, so his clothing, his costume came along with that. I don't want to just assume that he's a prince without looking at him and say, oh okay, is he really a prince or not. He looked the part even when he's outside of his traditional roles or whatnot. He looks the part. He always has this traditional beads on his chain. He just looked the part. You just know that, oh, this guy is a prince, and his outfits were on point as well. So yeah, when we talk about costume, he looked the part. As a prince that he is, he looked the part. So I really like that as well. So yeah, those are the things I like about this movie. Moving on to what I do not like about this movie, let's talk about the storyline. There was this controversy recently about a stolen script or a stolen movie or whatnot. It's the same thing as this one. The same thing. This movie is the same thing as the one that Omokhodion took down on her channel, and the other one I forgot the title even. So this is like 3 scripts that is the same, but fortunately this one, the Adulted Feelings, had different scripts, but it's the same storyline. That's what I'm saying. Fortunately, this particular one, Adulted Feelings, had different scripts. On the one that Omokhodion took down, they had the same storyline, the same script. Can you imagine that? So yeah, the storyline is the same, and it's disappointing that one storyline is written the same for three different productions. I'm sure there'll be somehow another storyline that is the same as this, and that will be very disappointing. But anywho, Dotted Feelings is the same storyline as the one that Monopoly took down. You can just imagine that, wasting time and watching this movie that I have already watched. So guys, if you have watched the others, you don't need to watch this one. Trust me, it's the same thing. It's the same storyline. Nothing has changed. The same ending, the same prediction, nothing, everything the same. So that's one thing. How can I like it? I don't like the storyline is the same. Then I want to talk about cinematography of this movie. Oh gosh, where should I even start from? Talking about cinematography, this cinematography is terrible. It is rubbish. It needs to stay in the bin. Some scenes you see pink, other scenes blue, other scenes dark. Even broad daylight shots are dark. What a terrible cinematography for this movie. I'm not even surprised, because I mean the storyline is copied, so no effort whatsoever. Editing department, I don't know if they were sleeping before they were. Did they even put even the night shots, the black or the dark mode for this movie? The night shot of this movie had all this bluing thing going on, had all this confused color grading going on here. In one shot or in one scene, when they are showing one character's face, you see it as dark blue. Then another person's face, you see it as dark brownish on the same scene. What exactly is going on? I know they use different cameras in capturing these scenes, but like the editing shouldn't be any different. Guys, what exactly is going on? This movie, the cinematography will not even make you to watch this movie, even though if you have the chance to watch it, you see that the characters were good, like I said, but cinematography was bad. It was rubbish. Just keep this movie cinematography in the bin, guys. This was terrible. Everything from head to toe cinematography, terrible. Let me talk about costume again. Aside Felix costume, every other person in this movie had a terrible wardrobe, except of course the prince and the palace and the queen. Every other person had a terrible wardrobe, and it was that bad. They look so basic. They don't look like they had a costumier on set looking out for all of them to look the part, look clean, look presentable, look appealing in their role or whatnot. Everybody just look laid back. They look like they're in their homes, looking basic. They just don't look the part, and it's like they didn't have budget for this movie, and that was so sad. Even though they had a lot of location, the characters in those locations did not look the part. They did not look people who are on set and ready to get this acting thing going, and that was so disappointing. That was something I did not like. And on that note, I'm rating this movie a 2/10. The 2 is just simply because of how good the characters were in their roles, and of course the location. Aside that, every other thing about this movie is just terrible. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. I'll see you all in my next movie review.